So I have been avoiding doing this video for a while now. And I know the signs when God is getting impatient with me after telling me to go ahead and speak. Because at the end of the day, the message is not just for me, it's for someone out there who's probably going through the same thing and wondering how to handle it and how to, make sure that they protect themselves and they learn how to choose themselves basically. So if you are someone who has gone through abuse in the hands of your siblings or family members, this video is for you. I'm going to be sharing my story, my testimony. So please, I'm not a victim. I've never been a victim. It was just experiences I had to go through to grow through and also learn to heal from. So if you are one of the people I'm talking about, or you just want to listen and it might help you, do stay. All right. Now, those of you who are familiar with me, you know that I'm a holistic life coach, a healer, a spiritual guide, and I definitely talk about my experiences. I mostly talk about my past relationships and how I healed, either friendships or intimate. But one thing I've avoided talking about for a while is the abuse I suffered in my family. Now, God has blessed me with amazing parents. My mom and dad, love them to death. Like, I would never trade them for anyone. They've been amazing to me. But my siblings, now that's a different story. And that's what I want to talk about. I grew up in a home where I'm the third out of 4 children, and honestly, the only good times or the good memories I had from my childhood were either with my parents involved or when I was by myself. When it comes to my siblings, my memories are filled with just abuse, and I'm talking physical abuse, emotional abuse, mental abuse. It was so bad that one of my siblings, in fact not just one, about 2 of them, when I was way younger, tried to unalive me multiple times. And each time, God just always took care of me. I kept it away from my parents, telling my mom for many years. She didn't learn about that. Even most of the really dark details, I took it to myself because I don't think any mother would want to hear those kind of details about their own child. And my mom is such a love that I would not want her to feel some type of way. So I carry some of those things, and I carried them into my adulthood. And I thought that the older we got, we would mature out of it, because the way they tell you, oh, it's family, oh, it's just still be a sibling rivalry or whatever, it would definitely end. But then it only got worse as we got older because they couldn't physically abuse me anymore. So it became ways to be creative on how to mentally and emotionally abuse you. And this went on for a very long time. It affected how I formed friendships because I started to gravitate towards people that acted exactly like my siblings, and I would do whatever and anything to try to please them and love them regardless, thinking and hoping it will change them and they will be able to see me for me and love me for me. But the abuse just kept, like, from one person to the other. And now I've done a video about the narcissistic handover. Literally, it was my sibling that did that with me, handed me over to a narcissist so that one can continue the abuse. And I know some of you watching this might know my siblings, at least some of them, and you'll be able to reconcile what I'm talking about with the people you know. Come on, it cannot be them. They're very caring, they're loving, they're this, they're that. Yeah, but you see, you did not live the experiences I did, and I had to do a lot of healing and inner work to get my self-worth back, to believe in me again, to actually be able to look at myself in the mirror and love who I see. Because the voices in my head was telling me different for so many years. Because those were the things that were told to me by the people that were meant to love me. And in this country, in Nigeria, we have a bad habit of, ignoring the abuse that comes from family because it's family. No. If your family can't love you unconditionally, genuinely love you, and all they do is abuse you either physically, mentally, emotionally, then you don't have to put up with it. You do not. I have got no contact with my siblings since last year, and when I tell you that my nervous system, I haven't felt anxious in any way, because I don't have to, mask and act like I am fine with, having a relationship with them. Especially after 2 years ago, I brought this entire situation up seeking healing, because I used to be that second, third, fourth chance person. And they forgive, die, and then I'll come forget. Biggest mistake. You can forgive, but you don't forget, because when you forget, you will keep repeating that same mistake over and over again. I used to forgive and forget, and when I realized on my healing journey that these were the reasons why certain things happened to me across the way, and I wanted to address it with my family, Because I thought if I speak, to my family, I didn't want to see them for who they really were. Because just like anybody else that knows them, you would definitely not be able to reconcile this with them. They are some of the sweetest, nicest people you'd ever know. But you would not know that behind the scenes, there's something else. And I did try to address it. I addressed it from a place of hurt and healing. I didn't call out names. I just asked that, they take accountability for the part they played. When I tell you, silence, crickets, it was as if I never said anything. I gave a year extra, thinking, okay, maybe it's a lot for them to, digest all at once. Still nothing. If anything, they started to do the same thing any other narcissist would do to you, where they give you the silent treatment so that you kind of like behave yourself. How dare you speak up? But what I did instead was to extract myself. Because one thing you're not going to do, especially now that I know who I am and I love me so dearly, and I have my boundaries up higher than the walls of China, is dare not try to emotionally or mentally manipulate me. If I could heal myself out of bipolar disorder, heal myself out of a deep, dark depression that almost took my life, then who are you to think you can mess with who God has saved, who God protects? Now, if you are in this kind of situation, where it is your siblings, your family member, they abuse you, they're still abusing you, and you keep forgiving them, this is not for those that is just play, and maybe it's your ego. I'm talking you full-on abuse, either physical, emotional, mental. And then people around you, when you try to tell you, oh, their family, just, don't. You need to learn to start choosing yourself. Yes, it's going to hurt. Do you know how much it hurt me to realize that I was doing so much trying to get my shit back together after coming out of rehab, expecting my siblings to be there for me, but one thing they didn't like was the fact that I was actually healing. I was no more the wild card, the ne'er-do-well, the one that was always partying and everywhere. They've never supported me. Imagine an artist who actually has amazing songs, and siblings who claim to like music but would never, not even share, not even repost, not even anything, not even listen. But then you have to sit back and watch them support strangers, like carry them on their head, and you are just there like, wow, what a wahoo. I went through so many things that I'm not even sure I am ready to start talking about. I just decided to do this video because God was on my neck. I was like, you need to speak out. I don't know who this might help or save. If you're still thinking of forgiving one more time and forgetting, this is literally your sign not to. Choose yourself. Set boundaries. Self-love would save you from so much shit. Being a people pleaser would never. Let people call you names. It's going to be lonely for a minute. People might decide to take sides and not take your side, and that is fine. You have God on your side. And you have me too now. So, welcome to my family. The fire circle. The firefly circle. Fireflies are lonely, but they have each other. They come together. So like, I'm never alone, even though it looks like I am. Because I've got my divine family with me. And this healing journey has taught me to appreciate every single thing that is good about me. You should do that too. I love you, but God loves you more.